Weapons of mass destruction, the biological way, the biological warfare. Recently, in news was that two Chinese nationals were caught by American authorities trying to smuggle a certain fungal strain into the country. These nationals, both research students, were carrying the strain by name Fusarium germanicus, kept under the category of bioterrorism. Thus, it implies that purely this particular strain can cause mass destruction among countries and can affect both humans and livestock, thereby comes into the category of weapons of mass destruction. In 2020s, UK and Canada started receiving seeds from unknown sources, which would have caused great ecological disbalance in the territory. These seeds, had it not been curtailed during that particular point of time, in a span of 2 to 5 years, would have grown from saplings to trees to plants, disturbing the entire ecosystem of that particular area. There are many such instances where weeds, seeds, and other non-edible plants have largely disturbed and decomposed a country's ecosystem and also disturbing the economic surplus of that particular area. In the 1990s, before the Gulf War went full-fledged, the USC caught 2 caravans stuffed with petri dishes. The team with expertise in biological warfare, when they investigated the petri dishes after preliminary investigations, came to a conclusion that the petri dishes had cultures of bacteria growing, and this particular bacteria by name goes as Bacillus anthracis, the causative agent of the disease anthrax. Anthrax affects both humans as well as gut-chewing animals, cattle, bovines, etc. The team was taken by surprise when they came to know that the mission was led by Iraqi dictator Saddam Hussein, who wanted to take the world by surprise by a potential bio-warfare. Later, after the incident, also came reports pouring in that Great Britain started receiving letters delivered by postmen having pollen grain-like substances embedded inside it. Again, on preliminary investigation, it was found that these stuff was not just mere pollen grains, but were spores or eggs of Bacillus anthracis, which, when people, while opening the letters, would inhale into their upper respiratory tract and get infected. Anyhow, Great Britain took great cautious steps and could easily curtail the spread of this particular disease. Such is the power of bioterrorism. It takes you back, it attacks you when you are the least alert and cautious. There are many such historical evidences where microorganisms were used as potent tools to destroy enemy troops during wars. One such example will go during the World War II when German troops used the spores of Bacillus anthracis to eliminate enemy troops. It kept these spores isolated in an island off the Scottish coast to be used on time within the stipulated period to totally eliminate enemy troops. Later, post the war, during the period of 1979 to 1987, when these spores were decontaminated, discarded by using 280 tons of formaldehyde approximately, the research team or the team which led the mission were startled to see that the spores were still active in an isolated island, sans human population without any vector to transmit or infect. In World War One, also, the Chinese troops used this particular strain of Bacillus anthracis to eliminate approximately 10,000 prisoners of war in Manchuria. There was great havoc, chaos in the entire nation when millions of prisoners of war fell sick and were eliminated without the slightest sound of a bullet or an arsenal being used. There are so many such incidents in history which can be documented well enough to show the power of weapons of mass destruction via the biological route. US Secretary of State Colin Powell had long advocated the abolishment of such research across the country as well as in the world. His famous address, though, was silenced in the UN Council, but still the world saw a lesson there when the statesman tried to strengthen the world in its route to stay safe, to stay awake